Now in this tutorial, let's talk about the singleton design pattern. Singleton design pattern comes under a simple design pattern, and it's categorized under a creational design pattern, which provides one of the best ways to create an object from a class. Now this is responsible to create an object while making sure that only single object is created from that template or class. Now it's very simple to implement in Java. So there are several methods of implementing singleton design pattern. So I'm going to talk about one here. So step one is creating a variable, a private static variable with data type singleton design pattern. Let me name it the same. And the second thing is we have to make the default constructor private. Now let me do that. Private singleton, right? So make the default constructor private. So why are we doing that? So making this default constructor private will not allow others outside this class to initiate to create an object from this class. So that's the advantage of making this as private. Now but we must get the reference of this design pattern, so that's why we are creating a public static method called getInstance to get the reference of this class. Now let me create it. We have public, now static, get say the return type should be same as singleton design pattern, and let me name it as getInstance, right? Now in this method what we are going to is we have to create the object, because we can do it, we can initiate the object within the class, though this is private. Now we have to check whether there is a object associated with this reference. Now how to check that? If this singleton design pattern is null, now we are going to create a object equals new singleton design pattern, right? Now ultimately we have to return it this reference. Right here. Now let me explain everything here. Now we have created made this access modifier private, so others cannot, I mean the outside people cannot create an object from this singleton design pattern class. Instead we do it inside, simply using this if statement. We check whether it is not initiated, so we create an object and then eventually we return that object. Here we have a little problem with this method. The problem lies with multi-threading environment. Let me explain it like this. Say this can be accessed by the members outside, because this is public and everyone can access it, right? These are made private, so no one can access, I mean outsiders cannot access this. It's either this variable or make initialize this object outside this class. Now this is the only method that can be accessed from outside. Now this should be thread safe. Why? So say thread 1 comes and enters this getInstance method. Now thread 1 searches or checks this if condition. Say thread 1 comes for the first time. Now it's already null, so he's going to create an object, but in this step thread 1 is going to sleep for some reason. Let's say thread 1 sleeps. Now while thread 1 sleeps for some reason, thread 2 comes to this same method, right? Now again thread 2 checks this, as thread 1 hasn't created this object, right? He is sleeping in this stage without initiating. Before initiating he is sleeping, and again for thread 2 this reference is still null, right? So what thread 2 does is he is creating an object and assigning it to the singleton design pattern reference, and he is getting that reference. Then after everything done by thread 2, thread 1 wakes up, and what happens is, now thread 1 is not going to check this again because he was here. Now he is going to execute this command. Yes, he can do it because he has already checked the if condition. So he's going to create another object. So after this scenario, we have two objects with this singleton design pattern class. So this should be avoided by programmers. So simply we can do something, right? So simply we can put synchronize keyword here. So this method is thread slave. So let's do that. Right now here, when thread 1 comes here, he acquires the lock of this object and enters this method. Now say thread 1 sleeps here, it doesn't matter because thread 2 cannot enter this object because the lock is already occupied by thread 1. So thread 2 has to wait up until he wakes up and does the initialization, right? Now this avoids the creation of 2 or more objects from this class. So let me demonstrate what we have done so far. So in order to demonstrate, I have made another class called demo single design pattern. Now in this demo singleton design pattern class, I have initiated this get instance method because and reference is to this get instance data type. Now as you can see, we cannot do something like new singleton design pattern, no, because this is outside that class. Only thing that we can do is to access this public static get instance method. Now let me label it as SDP1. So the same process has been repeated 2 times, SDP2 and SDP3. I have print those references which will invoke the toString method and which will give us the string representation. Now let me run this. Now as the output, this is the representation. Now these numbers are the same, saying that these 3 instances SDP1, 2 and 3 all refers to the same object because these numbers are the same. Now this is the simple way of implementing, or the most common way of implementing singleton design pattern in Java. Now there are other ways as getting the advantage of this class loader, static class loader, static initializer. Now I'm not going to talk about it here. This is the most common way or most standard way that we are implementing the singleton design pattern in Java.